bands.
Rock bands. Rock bands. Rock bands. Rock bands.
Hey, we're back.
We're back.
Hey,
You guys
welcome.
are back. I'm new.
Everybody's back. No, that's awesome.
Welcome, new guy.
Welcome.
I'm here. Made it safely. No damage to the car.
Yeah,
Thankfully,
that's awesome.
I've seen the Jag. It's you wouldn't want to damage it. It's very nice.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
ultimate dad mobile, if you don't mind me saying.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you. Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's a lovely car. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome. I have a small history with that car in that you lent it to me for a music video for the song Ocean Deep.
Right.
And we drove it down by the water treatment plant.
Right. Okay.
Which was so cool. And of course, I look like I'm a rock star driving this thing because it's an amazing car. V8, right? And
Yeah, V8,
Yeah.
They just don't make them like that anymore.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's really nice, elegant car.
yeah, 100%.
But it's British, so it's got plenty of problems to go along with it. We won't talk about
Right.
that. We'll
But
just
that's
talk
true.
about the
That's
good
actually
stuff.
true.
It's funny, we've never talked about like a Neve recording console in the same breath as a Jaguar, though, in terms of reliability, right? So
That's awesome.
inconsistent. We love the British, though, right?
Yeah.
Some of my favorite people.
I'm actually really glad that we're shooting here in this place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kensington Sound. This
Love
is
it.
an incredible room. And Vezi, you've been here since 1972. For people who don't know, Kensington Sound is the longest continuously operational recording studio in Toronto.
I'd say Canada. I mean,
in Canada,
it could
yeah.
be an arm wrestle with somebody that I don't know of, but the fact that I've been here,
Yeah.
I think continuously is
Since then.
quite ridiculous.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't think there's another studio out
Wow.
there. Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I mean, maybe there is.
Well, this is amazing, and this is a studio that's quite dear to my heart and to Vaxxo.
Yeah.
Vaxxo's
We've
made
done a lot of recording.
Yeah,
here.
we did.
all of his
Yeah.
music with me has been done
Yeah.
here, and I was here for a good 12 years, pretty
Yes,
much every day.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely.
Bothering this guy, and so this is a very special place, and there's
Absolutely.
songs in the walls, and I can say that Vezi probably built all of it with your hands.
We
or
did.
most of it.
We did. We started off as a band, and we quickly discovered that we didn't really have a future as a band. We weren't really that good. I was the only guy that practiced in the band. Everybody else would just show up to the rehearsals and go like, I said, "Didn't you practice the songs?" Oh yeah, next week. And
That's awesome.
so we kind of gave up on the band idea, and somebody had recorded me in New York on a reel-to-reel tape recorder.
Yeah.
And it was like an epiphany. My head just exploded. I just went like, okay, that's what I want to do.
Right.
And this is going to come up a little bit later, in terms of timing. We were just in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
There was a company called TIAC, and they had just introduced a bona fide multi-track quarter-inch tape recorder.
Amazing.
That for like $800, which was a lot of money. back
How
then.
many tracks was this?
4 tracks.
4 tracks. Okay.
But it was legitimately multi-track.
Yeah.
In other words, you weren't bouncing tracks and losing quality by doing overdubs. There were first generation overdubs. So
right.
So I bought a machine. I had a gardening job back then, and I had some money, so I bought the machine, got it across the border, set it up, and we're in the studio now. But this entire second floor was all rehearsal halls for bands. Wow. And there were about 5 bands here that rehearsed, and we had a little small room, actually just over there. And we set up this little tape recorder, and we started recording our songs. And we were all in university,
That's great.
and I was so happy. I loved it. I loved the recording process.
Yeah.
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 And the other bands found out about it, of course. And then you'd start off with a case of beer, and then
That's it.
$20, and $30, and $40, and
Right.
before you knew it, we had like a little thing going on.
Yeah.
And we kind of looked at each other and said, "Oh, really? We're all in university." But we weren't happy in university, so we kind of dropped out. And
Yeah.
one thing led to another, and then we built
That's
this
it.
entire studio. Yeah.
Wow.
This is amazing.
When you turn your passion into a living too, is such an amazing thing. Of course, a little bit of an occupational hazard I found where you don't want to get sick of your beautiful hobby.
Right. Yeah, it kind of snuck up on us. I entered university with a completely different career path. I thought I was going to become. My father was a professor at the U of T, so I thought I was going to follow in his path and become an academic. And then, and I always enjoyed music, but I never really considered it as a career.
Wow.
And then, but that was the late 60s, and it's hard to explain the electricity in the air in the 60s. It was like, there was like you could all hear like a buzzing sound or something.
Is it like the kinetic energy,
just,
like something about to go down?
Music, politics, clothing, women's liberation, civil rights movement. It was just an exciting time to be alive.
Yeah, amazing.
So somehow my head just went like, much to my parents' chagrin, and I became fascinated by music. But I remember when we finished building the studio, and then we were sort of celebrating. Then one of the partners looked at me and said, "Yeah, we'll do this for about 3 or 4 years, and then we'll go back to university." We never thought. I don't think any of us thought that we would. Like, I certainly never thought. If you had told me back then that I'd be here 52 years later doing the same, pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
The studio hasn't changed at all. The walls are still there, exactly the way we built it.
It's beautiful.
So it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
It's been a ride. Yeah.
I always am stricken with this feeling of extreme kind of time machining or nostalgia, walking into the control room in particular with the wooden kind of walls
and slanted ceiling.
Oh, the whole thing. And it's such a beautiful room too.
Right. It is.
But it's really, it feels like a gem and a rarity, and something that doesn't really, they don't really build studios that look like this anymore. Everything is much more sort of clean and just too polished, in my opinion.
Well, the control rooms back then were designed primarily around the main monitor speakers.
Right.
I know it sounds foolish to say that, but that's exactly. So that whole, we had a pair of mammoth JBL 4343s, which are still in the wall.
Yeah, they're like
still using
this
them.
tall if you take them out of the wall, right? They're like 5 feet.
And the whole control room was designed specifically for monitoring those speakers. They're built into the wall at a certain angle. And one of our partners, Don Paramaki, did all the research in the library, reading magazines about studio design. This is before the internet, obviously. I mean, we still had dinosaurs running around. So
how did you build a studio without ChatGPT is my question. That's
exactly.
So he would just come to us with these blueprints and these angles, and he was a lovable guy. He was confined to a wheelchair, which made life very interesting.
Wow.
But he was our research guy, and he would just sit there, okay, this is what we do. Then Mike and Bears, they were brothers. They'd figure out how to do it, and they would tell me to do it. So I was the guy that just pounded the nails.
So you're the guy at the end of the fireman line?
I couldn't be trusted with it, thinking about anything. I just did the work.
That's awesome. So my question for you is, I heard a story about this console, which is one of the ones in Canada. There's not a lot of consoles out there like this one. So how did this start?
Yes, there was a company, it's still in existence, called Midas, which even back then was very, very famous for its live PA consoles. It still is. It's an industry leader right now. And the other company was Neve, and they were building pretty much all the heavy, sought-after mixing consoles, but they're hugely expensive.
Yeah.
And Midas was also a British company, and Midas decided to compete with Neve and come out with a recording console that was hand-wired, that blah, blah, blah. And so they were searching for a market, and the British market was just too dominated by Neve. So they came to North America, came to Toronto, and started making feelers, and found out about our studio. And then through a series of conversations, we started getting interested. And again, Don, this guy, he did his research, and they sent him some stuff, and he said, hey, the specs are the same. They're exactly the same. Gold contacts, hand-wired, penny and jowl faders.
Wow.
Great transformers. So we kind of took a gamble, and we bought the first one, 001. We bought the prototype.
That's amazing.
And the prototype was in a way kind of designed by us because they weren't sure about, a recording console is different than a live PA console.
Yeah.
It has to have different features and
Of course.
different, signal paths and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know how we did it. We somehow muddled our way through, and the next thing, this half a ton thing wound up being carted up the stairs, and we plugged it in. But right away, I mean, like before that, we were using what were we using? Gosh, I can't even remember now. Lamb mixer, maybe LAMB.
Oh, wow.
And there was another console halfway through, but I can't remember what it was. And the minute we heard, I think it was my voice through one of the input mods, we just kind of went, "Oh my god, listen to that!
That's
it was
the one.
clear,
Yeah.
and rich." And it had that British sound. There's a British sound.
Yeah.
It's
100%.
Yeah.
It's so warm. I mean, it's a color box. So I mean, everything you put through it has a tone, a color, and obviously in modern recordings, because everything can be so clean, and it looks good in a spec sheet for everything to be so clean. Everything's been somewhat homogenized and just made to be. Again, appear good on a spec sheet, but in practice, something like that, to me, where you're coloring on the way in, it makes a recording so special.
Yeah, I think it's more than that. I think we've been having a continuing discussion here at the studios. I've seen it all. I mean, I've seen tape machines, and then I saw them disappear.
Right.
And computers came in and everything went digital. And now, as you know, Josh Goldman, the producer from Montreal, has brought back in a tape machine. So we've done a full circle back. We have a 24
2-inch,
track.
right? Yeah.
Exactly the same model that we had. It's so weird how life is a circle.
Wow.
So that happened to me. We recorded a band live back to 2-inch tape. Yep. And I hadn't heard that sound in about 20 years, maybe more. I can't remember. And I heard it back and I went like, my head just dropped. I went, what is that? It just sounds perfect. It just
like
sounded,
a year ago or
we
something?
argued about it and we came up with this. We came up with the fact that you had one main mixing console and you had one tape machine.
Yeah.
Now, both are affecting the sound. But the fact that you only had one mixing console, all the same transformers and all the same electronics, meant that every sound you produced from that mixing console blended with the other one because they were sort of
tonally similar.
They're matching.
Right.
Then it's going to tape. The same tape, which has the same limitations, the same sonic quality. And so they're blending.
Right.
So that's what you're hearing. Like, I think when you're hearing tape, actually, the records of the 60s, everything seems to be blended in together. It just sounds really cohesive.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's something we've lost in digital. And I'm as guilty as the next person. I mean, I love digital technology and it's so flexible and clean and the editing potential is through the roof. And, no razor blades needed. So, but it can't be argued that, different microphones are going to different, different preamps, and then it gets all blended into what? Into a digital,
which has no sound.
Which has no real character, right?
Yeah.
So it can be argued that you wind up in the end with, these sonically different landscapes, and you're trying to make it sound like it.
Like they're lacking a glue or something, right?
It's lacking a kind of an invisible, that's a good word, an invisible glue that kind of ties everything together.
Right.
Now, obviously a tape has its limitations, of course. We all know that.
Yeah. I think with moving forward with this AI stuff and that's happening, this boom, I think a lot of people are going back into this stuff, like the older, the old-fashioned stuff. The sound is way better.
I think too, because the process matters, and it's funny because there's obviously we all applaud the fact that it's easy to edit music and to do multiple takes and not have to worry about running out of tape and everything like that and razor blades. but definitely as the process gets easier and easier, we lose a bit of the process at the same
Absolutely.
time, I think, right?
And you also lose a little bit of the adrenaline.
That too.
And this is something I thought about a lot too. So I cannot tell you the amount of times that we would do a take and it would be very good.
Right.
And the producer would go on the talkback way. And I would know what's coming. He'd say, okay, is that it, guys? Is like, can you do a better one? Because if you do a better one, we're going to erase that one.
The other one, yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Because it's tape, too expensive. We can't keep that
No,
tape.
that's awesome.
And then there'd be a little argument in the band, they're always, the drummer would say, yeah, I nailed that one. No, let's just leave it. And then the guitar players, and I didn't like my solo. There'd be this argument in the band, and finally somebody would just say, we're doing it again.
Yeah.
So now when you rewind and you hit record, you're losing that take.
Right.
So now, my theory is now the band is pumped.
Right.
They're pumped because their ass is on the line.
Exactly.
So sorry, I shouldn't be swearing.
No, you can do it. That's okay. It's all good.
And so they're giving it.
Yeah.
They're because everyone's a little nervous, thinking, okay, well, we better get this. And I think that's somewhat of what you're hearing in those records is this kind of adrenaline where everyone's really focused, concentrating and trying to deliver the final guitar part, final bass part.
Yeah. You're chasing a magic moment, right? In a sense.
We don't have that anxiety anymore.
Right.
Yeah. Like of course everybody gets a little jittery, when they're recording, but there's not that heart pounding, sense of dread.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
or elation, like when I remember those moments are gone too, where the whole band would just almost jump up and go, we got it.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
We don't really know if we got it.
Right. I'll listen to it in a week from now and sort of see if I liked it.
We'll send the files to LA and see what they think.
Right.
Yeah. So
That's
awesome. Auto-tune it, quantize it, blah, 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 blah. There's all these second stages. So there isn't that same feeling of I'm getting a little harsh here, but there isn't that same sense of pure joy of, as a team, as a band.
Exactly.
Killing it.
Yeah.
That I think those days are few and far between now.
Totally.
Yeah.
I find it's really that, again, that thing of that the process matters, like climbing the mountain and getting to the top of the mountain is more satisfying than taking a helicopter to the top of the mountain.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
True.
And taking a picture at the top, and those two pictures from two people will mean two very different things.
Yeah.
Because one meant, base camp training and you spent a year getting in shape, and then, then you climbed and trekked the whole way up. And that process is your story to tell. And right?
What's the proverb? It's not the destination, it's the journey.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's true. I mean, I guess there was more of a band feeling back then.
Yeah, it's
It was definitely a band.
Right.
And everybody had an input. I mean, there was a producer, obviously.
Yeah.
But the band seemed to be much more important back then than it is now.
Yeah.
Right.
Where you kind of parachute players in.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I do it. I'm just as guilty.
We all do it.
We all do it. And the irony is that all this stuff we're talking about, we are now getting young bands in wanting that. My demographic has been there. They don't want any of that anymore. They want to do it this way.
Right.
Save time, Pro Tools, and, like cut it all up and edit and auto-tune. But it's the young bands that want, oh, this is so cool, man. Let's just play, live to whatever.
I've heard that actually, that the generation who came up with tape really appreciates digital even more because they had to suffer through the process.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, like, for people who it's a novelty for are really digging that. In fact, something was released last week, which was called the Tape DAW. And it's literally just a tape machine on your screen with a record button, 16 tracks, and you have to commit everything, and there's no visual aside from the view meters.
Hilarious.
And it has like a sound, like a tape.
Yeah.
But the whole idea is to like make you think creatively. And I wonder too, part of it being, and I'm a huge fan of getting outside of the box with your instruments and things like that. Like I love playing on keyboards that have a sound, for instance, or on a guitar, as opposed to having to use a plugin to generate sound. I find like the physical connection with your hands adds a sort of a special thing. And I think tape also is
tactile thing.
And so tape is tactile, and the record button and the machine and flipping the tape. So I wonder if that connection with our hands, same thing about holding a vinyl, why that's so special.
You just said the word. I think we talked about this before.
Yeah.
Connection.
That's
such a key word. And again, this is something that's come to me as more important later in my life or my career, where we have lost a little bit of connection for sure. Absolutely. I mean, you go back to I don't know, when music started, people would sing to you and you'd hear it right away. And it was connected. There was drums or boom, boom, it was right there. And then, you fast forward to our centuries where, the recording process started, and every step of the way, you've just gotten a little bit further away from the original sound.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Just what the source was, right?
Distance.
It's so funny that go ahead.
Yeah, and I think I don't think there's a solution to that. I think it's just a fact of life, and it's too bad. But yeah.
Well, also like the snapshot that of each era, and we can sort of celebrate the things that came out of the limitations of that era, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, then getting into Pro Tools and all the Logic and all these digital audio workstations. They all have different types of styles of music that you can make with them. Even like there are styles now that were impossible to make on tape because you can splice things and do some interesting things creatively,
true.
right?
The medium does affect the art that's created for sure. So when tape came out and AM radio came out and FM radio came out, and everything was so compressed.
Right.
So that affected the creation of music in a very subtle way. You couldn't have a really quiet passage and then a really loud passage. Like classical music could go from a whisper to a deafening crash.
Right.
That never happened anymore. All the pop music of my era was very linear.
Right.
It was like, why? Because the medium of radio and tape kind of enforced that.
Right.
No, we all got to be at the same volume, guys.
Right. Even with records, if they were mastered too loud, the needle would skip.
It would skip, right? So you could do it.
It's crazy. It's funny because I was talking to a friend of mine this week, and going back into the human touch kind of thing.
Right.
And he was asking, hey, with all this technology, why do you keep going to the studio? And I said, dude, because there's nothing better than being in the studio surrounded by people that likes the same type of thing, right? Like it's a human thing. We're losing that. Slowly, we're kind of losing the love for each other and the love for the music, because everything is like plastic. Everything is done at home.
Even when people send me, like when I work on songs and an instrumentalist sends me a file, it's a vastly different experience than if I'm in the room with them. And I don't know if you find this too, if you get a lot of people sending you files from afar,
right?
But when you can be in the room and have dialogue in real time, like you can make some incredible magic.
It's a very alienating experience, and we all do it. Because we're all in the business of making music, and that's just the way music is being created now. So again, I'm doing what everyone else is doing. But of course, like you send a file off for a sax solo. Now they, the guy's great. Played with him live, maybe, but there's something different about him just playing on his own without you being in the room. There's no communication. So of course he's going to send you back stuff that's good. But could it have been better if that you had been beside you?
Exactly.
Playing, exactly. You could have been going, but more like this. Yeah, you're right, Vasco. Absolutely.
But that's a good thing. Well, AI. I'm not talking about AI. AI is a different thing. But technology. Technology. It's funny because we were talking about this the last podcast. I don't know how many songs go a day into Spotify due to the AI stuff.
Yeah. So right now it's just speaking of removing the process. So people generating songs without any process aside from a prompt.
Yes.
The numbers about a month ago were like
40,000.
Really? Yeah. Okay. So
That's
it's
crazy.
40,000 a day.
But that's so dumb,
Yeah.
man. Because
Yeah.
but there's no context.
Plus,
there's
plus,
nothing.
plus. And we're talking like, and that's already adding to the catalog of
Yes,
produced songs. That
And not only that, I mean, I've experienced this whole AI phenomena. We're deep in the trenches of this thing, trying to figure it all out. And not only that, but they're all excellent.
yeah.
Sorry, they are. They're
Well,
excellent.
they're-
I mean, it's
they're
just,
impressive when you
I mean,
first
the
listen.
production
Yeah, the
standards
production,
are
yeah,
through
yeah.
the roof.
Yeah.
So it's becoming increasingly difficult for young writers and songwriters. I'm sorry. It just is. It's just becoming
Totally.
really, it was difficult before.
Yeah.
Now
Now
because
it's
of
way
AI,
worse.
it's
Yeah.
becoming almost
Exactly.
impossible.
Yep.
Yeah.
But what we've also noticed is in this space, as you know, we have a front salon area where we give small concerts,
Yeah,
for like 30
yeah.
or 40 people.
Right.
And it's surging. Like we have 14 shows in June.
Wow.
Yeah. So I
Amazing.
think there's a swing back to people wanting to hear not just live music, but rather than the big stadium concert, where again you can't tell what's real and what isn't real anymore.
True.
They just want to be 3
Exactly.
feet away from the guitar
That's it.
player, so
And
they
you can hear it
actually
acoustically
see that
too.
this is actually happening.
Right.
Actually happening, warts and all.
Right. Yeah.
So I think there's going to be, if there's a silver lining, I think it's that there might be a resurgence back to live music.
Yeah.
And the connection.
Yeah, there's
Right?
that word again. Yeah,
like
absolutely.
getting
Mhm.
back to that thing. It's interesting because it really does feel like eventually we will possibly have some standards to even differentiate, because just on a moral and ethical level, some people might want to like, I can count myself in this, but I wouldn't mind if there was a label on it that at least disclosed that it was AI.
Yeah.
And actually this past week, Spotify has made a move. Now it's not great for independent artists, but if you have a certain number of followers, you can get verified and that you're a real person, and they will give you a verified artist badge. But of course, the numbers are so staggering that only
Yeah.
label artists and very successful indies will get this. So it's still got work to do, but it's a step in the right direction of at least acknowledging who is a real artist and not. And I was talking to my friend Ethan, who's here today helping
Yay.
out earlier about this idea that it's very impressive to listen to this AI stuff, but it's interesting. It's almost always that I get about 30 seconds in and I go, wait a sec, I feel like it's soulless somehow. I don't know what it is.
you
It's
don't
a
know.
feeling more than anything, at least for
me.
me.
But that's us. I mean,
It's
I'm
too
just trying to
perfect.
be a little bit pessimistic here. That's us because we're musicians. We learned our instruments. We know what's possible.
Yeah.
We know that a singer can't sing like that, for
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
Right.
In some cases, it's just not physically possible.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, for the younger generation growing up, they really can't tell the difference.
No.
They just think it sounds
Yeah.
amazing.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, the
You
stuff
know,
is charting,
so-
right? It's
So you're
yeah.
kind of competing with that. I don't know. I don't know where we're headed.
Yeah.
It's pretty scary.
I think it's I look at these as a great opportunity for musicians as well, because you doing what you like and doing like by hand without doing the AI stuff.
Yeah.
I think there's something about that's gotta grab your
Well, here's an example of why I think that's true, is because so when I'm working with PR firms to launch a new artist, for instance, they want to know the story. They want to know
exactly
the background.
Yeah,
Who have you collaborated with? Who have your collaborators collaborated with? And what was the process for making this song?
Yeah.
And what was a moment that really stood out to you? And I could imagine in like 3 or 4 years where stars are like prompt writers and they go, yeah, so I sat down, I just had this idea to like make the song about like pink bubblegum, and I just typed in the prompt and that was it, and went viral. And it's like there's no story. There's no story. They're gonna look like fools.
And I feel so fulfilled. As an artist.
Yeah.
And it only took me an evening to make an entire album.
But you know
I
what?
completely agree with
But this is, I was just reading something which I thought was very interesting because, I mean, obviously this argument's come up before. Like
Yeah.
when computers came up, everybody thought that's the end. When MIDI came out, everybody was, oh, that's the end of that. You know, that's the end of real art. And then
Exactly.
computers came out, the same argument.
thing.
Oh, well, that's the end of that. You know, so
Yeah,
we've been
yeah,
through this
true.
discussion before. And I coincidentally was reading this article about the 19th century
Okay.
where the thinkers or the society leaders, the elites, the academic elites, were worried that people were reading too much.
Oh, no.
I'm serious. That reading was completely frivolous.
Wow.
It wasted time. It took time away from watching watching theater, watching concerts, and what is this thing? A book? It's awful. It's a waste of time. It's going to damage society. So that's going
amazing.
back a ways.
Wow.
That's going back a ways. But for every step of the way, there's been doom and gloom.
For every step of technology.
For every step forward, people have been critical about, well, where are we headed? But the problem with AI, I think that kind of freaks me out, is that it's sentient. I think that's the part that freaks me out.
And generative
it's
all
actually
that stuff.
beyond our control.
Yeah.
We can't just
I think
burn
so,
books.
too.
We can't break records over our knees. We can't really do it because it's making up its own decisions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
But I agree with you 100%.
and that's kind of scary.
The new generation, they don't know the difference in between what's I
think you're right. Yeah, I think
No, they don't.
I think you're on to
I'm
that.
sorry, they don't. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Music education has really suffered, as we all know, in North America, especially. I don't know about Europe. But music education has suffered. I mean,
I am concerned about Generation Alpha.
I just remember,
actually, for that reason.
I mean, I'm a generation older than you are, but
Yeah.
in my schooling, we had music classes
Right.
as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Until maybe grade 9. And then they stopped. So we just had, music was a class, like gym. You had to go to gym. You had to go to music class. So, so my generation was, whether you became a musician or not, you actually had a musical education.
Right. You understood
Like you
it
learned
to some
about
degree.
Yeah. You may not have played in the school band or anything, but you were forced in a way to actually learn about it. So, but now, cutbacks and this and that, and schools don't have money anymore. And it's very sad,
Totally.
Teaching the arts is, for me, so important.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's just being, not a priority anymore.
Yeah.
I can say for my kids at the elementary school, not Poppy, who's in high school now, but at the elementary school, they have a wonderful music teacher, Miss Edwards, who puts together huge productions, teaches the kids ukulele, drumline, singing, like all kinds of things, running the gamut, and literally, I think, works harder than any teacher that I've ever seen because she believes in it. And most of the stuff isn't properly funded, so she's spending hours of her own time to do this.
Well,
and,
she's an angel. She's
right?
a saint,
Like a total unicorn. And it unfortunately, like it takes people like that, but it is very self-sacrificial because you don't get any help. And I would love to see more schools, especially in poorer neighborhoods and things like that, actually get funding for this stuff because it's there's always a wealth disparity even with
I can tell you a funny story. I played in a very famous R&B band called the Lincolns.
Oh yeah.
And this is going back 10 years now, but so the Oakville, Mississauga school districts hired us to play a concert
cool.
at a morning assembly.
No way.
For all the music classes in the region.
Oh my gosh.
Oakville, and so it was like about 400 or 500 students there. So there we were at 9 a.m. Full-fledged R&B band playing for all the music teachers and all the music students.
Wow.
And it was going over very well, but there were these 3 boys at the very front with the sideways hat, and the baggy pants. And they were completely confused. And we couldn't figure out what was wrong, right? So we kept playing, and they were circling around behind us and then in front. And they're like, And then around, and so finally, we just thought, okay, there's something weird about these guys. Right? But we got great applause and all that. So we ended the show, and now we're tearing down. And then one of them came up and said, "Hey, man, so where's the DJ?" And I said, "What DJ?" He said, "Well, you're spinning vinyl, right?" I go, and then it occurred to me that they thought we
That's
were
so
lip
funny.
syncing.
Well, because it was a little too good.
It was too good. they
so
were looking
funny.
around to see where the guy was spinning the
my
record.
God.
And we were just acting like we were playing. And
What?
Jordan, the drummer,
Yeah.
John, he was so mad. He took a drumstick and he hit the drum. He said, "Here, then he played a beat.
my
He said,
gosh.
I'm playing a beat. Can you hear me?" So that's kind of the disconnect,
Wow.
Like, and
That's
it's kind
crazy.
of, it was funny. And at the same time, it was kind of like a little bit terrifying. Like,
Right.
oh, geez.
Yeah.
You know?
Who's going
Yeah.
to tell it? Well, thank goodness somebody told them.
Yeah.
Right? Well, that's an education right there.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Oh,
I remember
wow. That's really
That's
great.
a
You guys are
guitar.
good.
when I was younger, when I was to live in Portugal, I grew up there, but there was no option in school. There was no option if you want to have or not. You were allowed to have music lessons.
Oh, yeah, really?
and
Okay,
I
so
remember
same thing.
They were like flute. There was always a, and at the end of the year, you used to do like a flute concert, right? It was a disaster. Some guys are
Oh,
like,
yeah.
doing it.
I'm getting a headache just thinking about it.
I get it. Oh, man. We had so many-
I remember classes in music where the teacher would just go,
But basically, it gets better. We had this teacher that she had like a huge cane,
"Oh, no."
and if you failed a chord, she will go with a thing and she will hit you. That's it. So, by the end of the year,
It's the European way.
everybody is
Everybody what?
playing flute. We're all messed up.
She's like swinging it around in a circle. Like,
I remember the song was and then there's some guys like
So nervous. Oh, God.
but that was an obligation.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
had to have like lessons. But I think
Wow.
the generation is actually changing because my daughter is in a Catholic school and she has classes too.
okay.
And she comes home with a ukulele and she's like me, man. She's like, ping, pong, ping. Daddy, all this up. From here, top notch.
I don't want to discourage her.
Of course. I go, you better go into gymnastics. Oh, man.
Oh, my
So
gosh.
funny. But everything is
Oh.
changing. It's a shame that a lot of schools, they don't do the classes anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know
right.
why. Well, money.
Well,
was-
cutbacks. It's
Yeah.
money
Yeah, of course,
for
sure.
money.
And it's, you think about, is it less people learning instruments and less people then becoming musicians and less
Yeah.
people recording music? And what is the chain effect, I wonder? But
Well,
Not to get
I
too-
would think that, and yet, I mean, having salons here has really opened up my mind because
Yeah.
there's just so many young bands
Yeah.
Yeah.
that have
Yeah.
come in here and
I have to
had
say,
a good following and, drawn a
Yeah.
good crowd. And
Yeah.
they're excellent. They're like beyond excellent.
Yeah.
Like, some of us talk about where do these kids come from? Like they're playing at a level that are just
really?
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's so
they're-
encouraging.
yeah.
Because in my mind,
Yeah.
without knowing that, I would
Yeah.
say I hope that it's not getting lost. But I have been continually surprised, especially by Gen Z,
Right?
like
Mhm,
showing up,
mhm,
actually
mhm.
wanting that real
Yeah.
human thing and connection again.
I think it's not as wide. Like I don't think the arts are being as widely disseminated and taught, but the ones that are studying are committed.
Right.
Maybe their parents
Yeah.
were musicians. I'm not sure how that works, but I mean, we've had some young bands in here. We had a young band in here playing Dixieland,
No way.
like of all
Wow.
things.
What?
There was about 6 of them.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm listening to them going like, okay, that sax solo was just through the roof. Who is this kid? Like he looked all of
Dixieland.
21 years old,
Wow.
Really?
And it was just
Huh.
killing it. And everybody in the
Amazing.
band, then I noticed everybody in the band, they had a couple of
Yeah.
older guys, but
Yeah.
generally and they're playing at a level that is, I was
crazy.
like, what was I doing? Well, I was learning how to tune a guitar and pick my nose at the same time, but there's unbelievable talent out there. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So that's encouraging.
Right. Yeah, of course.
The talent level is through the roof. It's
That's
the highest
good to
it's
hear.
ever been. And there's reasons for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Good parenting.
Yeah.
Parenting has changed a lot.
Yes.
When I was learning guitar, I had to hide in my bedroom closet with a vinyl record player, and I wet my finger and I'd slow it down so I could see what
learn.
Clapton was doing.
No way.
And I had to really quiet because my parents were outraged. My father, like that I was playing electric guitar and growing my hair long and stuff. It was just,
oh my goodness.
and Prakash tells the same story.
No
Wow.
way.
Yeah.
That's
My friend Prakash, who's celebrated bass
Yeah,
player.
yeah.
We just laugh
Great
about
bass
it
player,
now.
yeah.
But now that the kids growing up
Yeah.
do not have that problem.
No,
They
yeah.
have very supportive parents.
Yeah.
Generally speaking,
Yeah, yeah.
it's more liberal now, progressive.
yeah.
For sure.
And not only that, they have YouTube.
Yeah,
Hey, you
YouTube
wanna
is
learn how to
amazing.
play a country
right?
lick?
Yeah.
Here, blah blah blah. There it is, right in front of
Yeah.
you, right on
Yeah.
your freaking computer.
Yes.
I know.
I had to go to a music store and try to wait for somebody that could come in and play, and then I'd sneak around like I was buying guitar strings or something, and I'd just listen to him play.
That's
And I go up, and sometimes you go up, and he'd just buzz off, kid. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Right.
Trying to steal my legs. So that's how we learned.
Wow.
So
Yeah, but-
and that's hard. It's
Yeah.
hard to make progress
Yeah.
when nowadays it is much easier.
Yeah,
It's
the
huge
YouTube is
education.
amazing for sure
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah,
I mean,
leap for
I looked up how to. I was looking for some gospel chords for the piano.
Right.
The other day, I was like, I just want to learn some new tricks.
Yeah, yeah.
There was a YouTube video.
What's
It was
it?
like gospel music for beginners, and I was like, this is, great. It's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
anything you want and access to that. That's amazing. Okay, switching gears a little bit. I would love to hear what is one of your favorite moments in the studio. I know this is really broad.
Oh,
so
boy.
how about who is a standout, maybe from your book, for people who don't know? On the Record, a beautiful book by Vezi,
Thank you.
documenting the history of his life at Kensington Sound and beyond. Tons of great stories. So funny, so well written. And so should I just name off some
Sure,
people?
go
You
ahead.
just
Yeah,
tell me.
sure.
Okay, so we were talking about Daniel Lanois.
Daniel Lanois,
so,
of course.
what's a favorite memory you have of working with Daniel Lanois?
Oh, okay. I can do a brief synopsis of that. I'm still suffering from the trauma of PTSD of working with Daniel Lanois. We knew of each other. Grant Avenue, which is a excellent studio in Hamilton,
Yeah.
started at the same time that Kensington Sound started.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So we were bitter rivals. And there were two brothers, coincidentally, Bob Lanois and Daniel Lanois.
Right.
We had two brothers in our partnership, Mike and Bear Jalianak, plus me and Don. And we did really well right out of the box. And they did really well. They had a bit of an easier time because they were in Hamilton, so they had more of a captive market, I would think.
Right.
We were right in Toronto, and there was a whole bunch of studios doing
Yeah.
what we were. So we were like,
Right.
we had to really fight to get business.
Yeah.
But they wound up stealing a couple of our engineers and stuff.
really?
Oh, it was a little, a little bit of bad blood there and there. So anyway, but I've got a couple of great stories about Lanois I can share. So I had I'd come up with a vinyl record called Quick as Silver.
Yes.
And I was
This is your first album.
my first album, and it was recorded. The master tapes were on a 1/4-inch tape, and I wanted to do a safety copy of it.
Right.
And to do a safety copy, you had to have two 1/4-inch machines, one to play, one to record.
Right.
Very few studios in the city had that. And they were all booked up. And so I grudgingly called Grant Avenue. And Bob Lanois said, yeah, sure. Yeah, okay, $60 an hour or whatever. He was a very gruff guy, Bob was. But so I drove and the machine, we were doing our transfer, and it was really dark in the control room. I don't know why. Anyway, so we hit play and then record. So once you start, you just let it go. So the whole album played out
Right.
in one continuous thing.
Wow.
And so, and And then the engineer, Greg Roberts, I believe it was, we stopped it, and Greg said, "Oh, that's a nice album, very good." And then a voice came from the back said, "Yes, I really enjoyed that." It's Daniel Lanois.
Oh, really? He was listening
He's been there all the time.
Oh, really?
On the couch with us in the darkness. So he's a very spooky guy. Right? So,
Just lurking.
anyway,
my gosh,
so
that's so funny.
decades go by. I guess 30 years go by or 20 years go by, and he called me out of the blue, and that's when the studio was really struggling. I mean, as you know, there have been plenty of ups and downs.
Yeah.
Mostly downs. But anyway, so my partners had all left. I was here alone, and it was going under, I think, very, very slowly.
Yeah.
And out of the blue, Daniel Lanois calls me and says, "Vezi." I go, "Oh, hi, Daniel." "What's up?" He says, "You got any time next week?" And I went, my heart started pounding immediately. I said, I thought he was joking, right? I said, "Yeah," because we weren't really that busy. He says, "Oh, I'd like to come in, how about for a week or so, to work with Ron Sexsmith."
Oh, wow.
And I said, I think I said, "Don't do this to me." I think I said, "Don't do this to me." And he says, "What?" I said, "Daniel, please, I'll be a nervous wreck, and the studio is not what you're used to, right?" I mean, even Grant Avenue at that point had become an excellent studio. We were just down in the dumps. I mean, you had to kick the machine to get it to work.
Oh, no.
The modules and the mixing consoles that weren't working. Microphones were humming chord. It was floundering, right?
Yeah.
And he said a great line. He said, "No, Vezi, we're going to do it. Adversity makes for a great record."
Yeah,
I've never
awesome.
forgotten that line.
Wow.
So he did show up. I lost 6 pounds in 1 week. And the story's in my book. But he's absolutely brilliant. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
He's a bit of you have to have, what's the word? Stamina, and you can't get so rattled. You just got to go in a straight line, because he'll just push you to the ends of the earth to get what he wants. And
Wow.
Yeah.
it doesn't matter where he is. So,
So he's chasing that magic all the time,
he's,
regardless,
He's
right?
the perfect, as we discussed, he's the perfect combination of realizing the importance of a spontaneous performance.
Yeah.
Like I'm a performance guy. I'm more worried about the performance than I'm about
Yeah.
sonic clarity and buzzes and hums and this and that. I just, are you singing in tune or not?
Yeah.
That's it.
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got that in spades. Then he's got the other end where he'll sit there. He adjusted the chorus settings on a reverb, which was one of 2 reverbs on a guitar solo for 4.5 hours.
Wow.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Like tweaking the reverb
Just
sound,
tweaking
just like
the chorus on the reverb. Like the reverb was
Oh my
alone.
gosh. What?
Reverb was going through a chorus. I think it was a Dep 5, which he loved. He bought 4 on the spot. He sent this guy out to buy 4, a Roland Dep 5. I'm pretty sure I got that right.
wow.
But he sat there with these 2 controls, and I had to keep rewinding and playing it over and over again. This is tape, by the way.
Yeah.
So, and he's just going like this for 4.5. I said, "What
Wow.
are you listening to?"
Wow. Would that
What-
start wearing the
how can
tape
you
down at that
possibly
point?
hear that? Like, what is the difference? Like,
Yeah.
in the mix, like, but he's got,
Wow.
he is, like, exceptional.
That's
You
crazy.
know, it's so funny. I thought when you said that he called you, I was like, maybe he's asking for a copy of the first album. Can you imagine? He goes, "Hey, Vezi, I need a copy of the first album. After all these years, I still love that
I need
album."
a copy. Oh, yeah. But then, on the other hand, what the stories in the book is that wasn't this guitar part, but there's another guitar part, and I wasn't sure where that part was headed. I didn't say a word. It's Daniel Lanois.
yeah.
Anyway, he
Yeah,
labored
exactly.
over this thing for 2 or 3 hours. And then he said, "Well, what do you think, Vezi?" And I, that's what I said. I said, well, after he, being diplomatic, I wasn't sure about it at all,
That's
to be
awesome.
honest. But I didn't know where it was going to wind up in the mix and all. So I was just super diplomatic. And then my intern walked in with coffees and, gave one to Dan. And Daniel said out of the blue, "Oh, hey, what do you think of this guitar part?" And, just laid it down. And the intern said, "Oh, it sucks." And I gasped out loud. I went like, "Okay, that intern's fired." Beyond that, I was so shocked. I was just like, I didn't know what to say. My ears went red, and I was just going like. And
So
Daniel
funny.
said to me, "Erase it." I said, "What?"
Wow.
He said, "Erase it."
That's crazy.
So you can't go
Wow.
back to it. You're moving on,
Done.
not even.
I said, "Well, Daniel," I said, "No." You said, "I had a feeling. Kid's right.
Wow.
Erase it."
Wow.
And
That's
a fresh perspective too, right? Coming into the
Exactly.
room.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he had both. He has both, and that's his magic.
That's amazing, man.
That's amazing though. But I can very much say that about you though, that you are, I would say maybe even like more organically producing
Wired.
and so
Yeah.
and like you said, like performance based, and like to watch Vezi in
Yeah,
the studio producing is pretty amazing.
Oh,
and
thanks.
And you've made some wonderful albums. You've got 3 full-length albums, unless I'm
true.
missing
Yep.
one.
Mhm.
Quick as Silver, Army of Angels, and Between Us All,
yeah.
right?
Oh, thanks. Yes.
And
Absolutely.
fantastic albums, and also a string of singles since Between Us All that have
Right,
come out.
true.
Really great singles. And are you working on anything new? Would be my question.
Yeah, I get asked that a lot. I haven't done anything of my own in terms of songwriting.
Right.
It's kind of a writer's block, which a couple of writer friends of mine are really angry about. There's no such thing. Well, no, there is such a thing. I think it's more to do with I think there's 2 reasons for that I haven't been writing. I think one is I've said everything I want to say lyrically.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do believe that. I mean, I'm pretty proud of what
Yeah.
I've
Well,
done.
you're there.
Yeah.
And I've said everything I kind of want to say. The
Right.
world's pretty screwed up right now, but
Yeah.
we've all
Yeah.
had a chance to speak our mind and say
course.
what we want to say.
Sure.
And I've said that.
Yeah.
And also, I'm doing so much producing, like working with other writers,
Right.
other bands, other musicians, that I am totally fulfilled. Like I get my jollies
Yeah.
up working
Yeah.
with them. So it's not like I
Wonderful.
feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I'm, lacking something.
Well, you're still creating. You're still creating to the
creating
Yeah.
music,
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
making their
Exactly.
visions come true,
Right.
So that to me is very, very fulfilling. And
Yeah. I know you were recently working with the wonderful Murray McLaughlin in the
Right.
studio, and can you tell me a little bit
Yeah,
about your working
sure.
relationship with him over the years? And-
Sure. Murray McLaughlin, for those who don't know, is kind of an iconic Canadian songwriter. He grew up or evolved during the legendary days of Yorkville and Toronto,
Right.
along with Neil Young, Joni Mitchell, Leonard Cohen. They all
Yeah,
played
yeah.
in the
No
same
one we've
clubs
heard
in
of.
Toronto, and Murray was one of those. Bruce Cockburn, now Murray can be argued he didn't reach the heights of fame and
Yeah.
success that these other individuals did, but he's an incredible songwriter.
Yeah, he is.
And then, for legal reasons, he wanted to re-record most of his catalog. As you know, what's been happening with
oh yeah,
predatory firms. in
Taylor
the
Swift
States. Yeah,
just
losing
did
their
the-
publishing,
Def
losing their
Def
mastering
Leppard
rights.
said the same. Yeah.
So it started with that. And it started with him just recording, almost 30 songs.
Wow.
And then, so he assembled a band. L. Cross on drums, Victor Bateman on bass, Burke Carroll on pedal steel, and he asked me to play keyboards.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Great company.
Yeah,
Wow, great company.
keys,
Really amazing.
and then he was in the control room on guitar and vocal. It was a kamikaze project, which is the way I
Cool.
like it. Everything was live off
Yeah.
the floor.
Yeah.
30 songs, 30 final vocals, not one punch in.
Wow.
Not one.
Like playing live,
Playing
singing,
live and singing live. Like
Oh,
there's
really?
not one bad note. That's
putting
Murray
everyone else to
McLaughlin.
shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing, there you go. A little tribute to you.
Right.
You forced me to go 96.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah,
The higher
yeah.
sample rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that was revealing because I had asked my peers
Yeah.
in my demographic, 48 or 96,
Yeah.
and they said, "Well, it's not worth it."
Right.
And I can be somewhat confidential here because I was born with it, so I have an excuse. So I have very poor hearing. I was born with it. There was an accident when I was born, and I lost some hearing, and I lost a lot of hearing in my right ear. So this has been kind of a poorly hidden secret. It's in my book. I finally confessed. And when we started engineering here, I told my partners, this is a really bad fit. And they said, well, your mixes sound amazing. And my centering was right on. And so they couldn't figure it out. So anyway, I digress. But so we went 96K.
Yeah.
You were quite adamant. You weren't angry, but you were a little bit.
I know. I'm pretty passionate about it. I'm pretty passionate
but
about
I respected your opinion. I said, okay, it's just storage.
Yeah.
That's the only problem.
It's not tape anymore.
What am I going to lose?
Yeah.
So I recorded, and then, first song, I went back in the control room. They went out to get a coffee.
Yeah.
I hit play, and I was thunderstruck.
Oh, amazing.
I went like, they can't hear that? Like, I sound like Daniel Lanois. Daniel Lanois would say that all the time. You can't hear that? You can't hear that? So I said, they can't hear? It's like day and night.
It's more 3D or something, right?
Like
higher
within
resolution?
a minute, I was going, you got to be kidding me.
Oh, that's so
then,
cool.
Apparently, it does depend on the type of music you're recording.
Yep.
If it's dance music or rap, you're never going to hear it.
Yeah.
Because there's just too much
it is.
digital information.
It's overtones that it loses,
but
right?
I was playing grand piano and, a Wurlitzer or like real instruments, Hammond, B3 right here.
Yeah.
And real drums, stand-up bass.
Right.
And we're playing live.
Yeah.
So I heard it instantly.
Yeah. Amazing. So cool to hear that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was day and night.
Yeah, I honestly, since making the switch to higher resolution, maybe, I don't know what it is now, maybe 4 years, it's been like no looking back after that. Because even the way that, that when you add a little bit of top end, a little bit of sizzle, or even the way that it just handles the files. I heard actually Bernie Grunman was talking about this, where he was talking about higher resolution, and he's saying like even go crazy with the sample rate. But he said that what happens is every time it gets averaged down to like 44.1, which is like CD quality. You lose all of the overtones between the samples that you would normally have on an analog waveform. And so there's this imperceptible thing that is that we intrinsically react to that is lost. And it's not so much maybe perceptible by the average person who can hear a sound or they don't hear a sound, and sound is so subjective. It's not like film. Like film, you can tell it's that's grainy or that's really sharp. With sound, it's really like it takes a trained ear. I
heard it right away.
That's cool.
Away. And and I was really surprised.
Awesome.
I was really surprised that I could hear it. no.
I think you now have super hearing. Is what happened.
I heard it right away. Well, I mean, however my ears are tuned, I heard it right away. Bingo. It was no contest.
Wow.
But apparently it does depend on how much space there is between the instruments. Harmonics, as you say, the overtones that you're working
you may or may not need it or notice it.
Maybe on a digital drummer, it wouldn't make that much difference. I don't know. I haven't actually explored that theory. But
I mean, there's scenarios for all of it, but it's closer to an analog waveform, which is what for me, makes it closer to that real thing of hearing it
analog.
Live. Right?
It felt analog to me.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. I mean, Murray is such a treasure.
Yeah.
And
he's a formidable songwriter. Absolutely formidable.
So if I was to ask you, like, okay, so what is one current artist that is really impacting you in a way, like someone who's
I'm working with?
No, like working with or non, or maybe one of each.
I think we're witnessing some incredible stuff. I mean, Jacob Collier is like blowing my mind. I think he's so exciting. He's the Mozart of our times. I really honestly believe that.
I think so.
He really is. And for us to be here now and to be able to, we saw him live, I think together.
I don't think I was there.
You weren't there.
It was Liam,
I was
my brother.
at the History, the club. He was in Toronto. That's right. And I mean, it's like, that's why I say there's optimism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a young guy.
Yeah.
And he's a virtuoso just about every instrument.
Right.
And he's so joyful and enthusiastic and generous.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's blowing me away. I see little moments in here that blow me away. You know,
Yeah.
we just went through. We joined forces with a charity called Bird Song,
Okay.
which helps mentally and emotionally challenged people get over addiction issues or whatever they're going through in their life through music.
Amazing.
That's great.
So, and I've done this before on a smaller basis. This is an actual, legitimate charity.
Yeah.
And this singer had sent me something from Winnipeg. And we agreed to do it. This was on an iPhone.
Okay.
And I mean, it was pretty raw, let's just say. And then some people said, "Oh, ouch!" Like I said, "Well, no, his pitch is pretty good.
Right.
He's not playing an instrument; he's just singing into a phone.
Yeah,
it's not bad, So I took faith in it. So I put the voice on a track. I auto-tuned it and melodined it, so at least it was somewhere near a concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was actually pretty steady from like beginning to end for 4 minutes. So I was right about that.
Yeah. Great.
Then I got an approximate click, tempo, created a grid, moved each phrase that he's saying into place.
Oh, wow.
And in the course of doing that, I realized he was thinking in fours. 4 lines in the verse,
Yeah.
another 4 lines in the verse, and then the chorus.
Right.
And then, so there was a structure there that I hadn't even, because he was just singing a cappella. I wasn't actually, until I put in the computer, I didn't realize, oh my God, it's like a Nashville, structure, verse, chorus.
Classic songwriting.
So then I had his voice all there to a click, and then I played piano on it. And he showed up. Now, this is when everybody was going, okay, he's got to sing this. He sat in there and he sang it through one take.
What?
No auto-tune, no melodyne, nothing. I haven't touched it, and it's incredible.
Wow. How did you record him? With you just put headphones on in the control room, or you had him sing to the speaker?
He got really rattled in here.
Okay.
Because he's a little shaky.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It was his first time in the studio.
Yeah.
And I just immediately said, this is not working. So I took the headphones off and I said, come and sit beside me in the control room.
Great.
So I just sat there.
Yeah.
And I said, here's a mic. You want me to hold it or do you want it? He said, no, I'd rather have it there because he was reading his lyrics.
Right.
And so he had his lyrics here and he's singing to the mic. And I just had the speakers on really, really quiet.
Yep.
And he sang perfectly in tune.
Wow.
And the producer, the executive producer was there, and we were just like, our jaw just dropped. Like from the very first line, it was like,
look at that. I know
it was
headphones.
What is going on here?
Wow.
He's not hitting one bad note. And he did when he said, how was that? And I go like, that was fine. Want to sing it again? He sang it again. And I said, I don't know what to say. His name is Wes. And,
Right.
look out for it. It's a really great song called Time.
Wow.
And I said, man, I think I've got to keep her vocal in like 4 passes.
That's it.
And he came back in the next day. He says, well, I'm a little less nervous now. Can I sing it again? I said, oh, yeah. Okay, sure. Yeah, sing it again. Yeah. You sang it better. Yeah, more rasp. And
No way.
So honestly, music is incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Wow.
So, I mean, they're big moments and they're small moments, you know, and the small moments are just as, there's no difference to me. I just get just as excited about him as I would about Lanois. I mean,
of course.
You know, it's just as moving. It's just as and relevant too.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow, that's crazy.
I find it's amazing to be organic like that, take headphones off. And apparently it helps people's pitch and it helps their, again, the sense of rattling is not
and
there.
This whole nonsense about leakage. Well, I told you that story about Lanois. During that project,
right.
Ron Sexsmith came in, was blown away by what we had done. And Lanois said, record him singing.
Right.
We already had a vocal, for God's sakes.
Wow.
It's this typical Lanois. No, seize the moment.
Right.
Carpe diem, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Says, we have no microphones left. And the whole room is set up. I used every last mic. He says, I don't care what you fucking have. Get a microphone. So I brought in a
No
Sennheiser
way.
441.
Yeah.
And
Like a guitar mic, isn't
That's
it?
it.
Or a tom
whatever.
mic.
It's not a vocal mic.
Yeah.
And then he sat on the sofa in the control room. And I went to get him headphones, and Daniel said, no fucking headphones. Now, it's okay if he would let me turn the speakers down. He didn't even let me do that. So it was like
Wow.
90 decibels,
What?
like pounding in the control room.
Wow.
And there's Ron Sexsmith. I said, okay, this is really going to work.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, this is really... Rewound it, played it. The leakage was manageable. I was
Yeah.
stunned.
Wow.
It was a dynamic, so it was a little
Right.
bit more
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
cardioid, right?
Yeah.
And I was shocked. Like every rule, like that.
And that record, by the way,
Yeah.
I tracked down what song that was.
Yeah, there's a
It's-
rhythm.
There's a yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of his debut album,
Right.
and it first of all, it sounds different than the rest of the record.
Yeah.
because it's got that Kensington vibe.
Well,
But it's like raw and real. And actually, a friend of mine told me that was his favorite Ron Sexsmith song, and I was like, oh, that's it.
Yeah.
And then we were like, I wonder if that's the Lanois song. We tracked it down.
Well, that was produced by Mitchell Froome, and 3 days it was signed to Interscope Records.
Wow.
And 3 days before it was being mastered, Daniel Lanois, they made the mistake of playing the record for Daniel Lanois.
Right.
And Daniel Lanois had heard the original demo of this song, There's a Rhythm,
Oh,
on a 2-track machine in New York. And and Daniel said, "Give me 3 days. Give me 3 days. I'll give me that reel to reel, that 1/4-inch tape. I'll transfer it to 2-inch."
Wow.
His guitar was on one track, the vocals on another track.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of
That's
bleed, but
amazing.
not too bad. And
Huh.
that's what we worked on. We transferred that to 2-inch
Yeah.
here, and we overdubbed on that original demo.
Ha.
Because the vocal was, even I heard it right away. The vocal was so much better.
Yeah. Wow.
Sometimes you go far, and huge
Yeah.
studio and this and that, unlimited budget. Months spent on one song, and the original demo's better.
Yeah.
And
Right?
Daniel can hear that. Daniel heard that,
Yeah.
and that's the version that wound up. Now
It's amazing.
it went to like 7 other studios after us.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was just insanity. Like, that's Daniel Lanois. He
Yeah.
went to Montreal, then he went to Paris, and and it got held up. The album got held up for like 3
Really?
weeks.
Wow.
until
Because
we
of
finished.
that.
Yeah.
No way.
That's great.
It was very special though.
Yeah,
Like hearing
it's
that
a really
recording
great
was
song.
beautiful.
Beautiful
and
song. And
Yeah.
yeah.
That was so special. Well, Vezi, I know you're also a bit of a cinephile. You have some great taste in movies. We love movies too. So completely shifting gears. I'm just curious to know, what is your favorite movie and why? I need to hear.
gosh,
I need
this
to
is
hear
really-
about this.
I don't have a favorite movie. I mean, because they're all so different. I love them
Right.
for so many different reasons. I've been called a bit of a film snob. I don't think I am. No, but my favorite
You're
director.
discerning in a good way.
I mean, my favorite director is Kubrick, Stanley Kubrick.
Oh,
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, it's
so
okay.
good.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
But that to say, I got so many favorite films. I don't know, The Graduate. Let's see. Well, most of Stanley Kubrick's films, Moonstruck.
Yeah.
I thought Avatar was fantastic.
Wasn't
Yeah,
it orange
yeah.
clockwise
So my
orange or
tastes are
something?
all over the map.
That's cool, though. That's-
Deliverance.
Yeah.
These are all really
it's
good
from-
films, and
Yeah.
Rear Window. Going back to the classics.
Hitchcock,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Hitchcock,
Yeah.
Hitchcock,
Yeah. Cary Grant was that, or
Yeah, very good. Cary Grant. That's right. Absolutely. And I love films. I could go on and on about films. We'll be here for another hour. I
love that you have.
I'm just not thinking of the
you run the
films
gamut.
right
That's
now.
great. What's a new film that you've seen that you enjoyed?
Oh, a new film. I thought Begonia was pretty good, but it got a little too weird at the end. They didn't know how to end it.
I just saw it. I
They
actually
didn't
really,
know how to end it.
I really like that movie.
Yeah, it started off great. I thought the first half of it, I said, I'm really enjoying this film.
Yeah.
And then, but sometimes what happens is, and you know this, is that the film gets edited and there's a version, but then it goes to the bosses
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they go, we don't like the ending.
Yeah.
We don't like this. We don't like, and the guy has to go back and re-edit it. So I don't think that's the version that the director meant.
Interesting.
I think the ending got screwed up because they wanted a happier. Who knows?
Yeah, it was very. I mean, it was not at all was what I was expecting or where it was going. And if you've seen that other directors or that director's other movies, like Poor Things with Emma Stone, and he also, what was the other one he did? He did Kinds of Kindness. The Lobster. Have you seen his movie called The Lobster?
No.
I'll send you a link to it.
Oh, the Coen Brothers. I can't let this go. Coen Brothers are brilliant.
Yeah,
Brilliant. Fargo.
Nice.
Blood Simple, their first film. Fantastic filmmaking. Yeah.
Amazing. I love, classic cinema. I think this is something that I'm trying to expose the girls to as my daughters is like older movies that are shot more cinematically. You know, they have a pacing that's a little bit different. The editing was more lingering. It wasn't just snip for our ADHD brains. Yeah. It was very much like you're lingering on a shot.
Yeah, good for you.
You know,
like my dad made us watch Rear Window, Night of the Hunter.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
That's kind of a gothic horror film.
Yeah.
Rustar, you need to see that film. It's quite brilliant. Robert Mitchum. And my mother going, you should not be showing these films. They're not going to sleep all night.
Yeah.
But so my father had really good taste in film. Yeah. So
that's awesome.
I applaud you for trying to do that.
I'm trying. And sometimes they zone out. You know, I attempted even stuff like Die Hard. I make the kids watch Die Hard last Christmas. And one of them stayed awake long enough to see it all. The rest fell asleep. Would you believe in Die Hard?
Die Hard.
Right. They fell asleep in Die Hard.
There you go.
But I made all of them watch the Terminator series recently, and at least they suffered through it. Sunny, our middle one, really loved the Terminator so much that she put a Terminator watch face on her Apple Watch of the robot. And I said, sweetheart, you know, and I explained this to Emma, my wife, which was that it is far scarier for something like the Hunger Games, where they're taking children and they're sacrificing them and killing each other, than a probabilistic future of an AI robot trying to exterminate humans and our human response of that. So I was like, you know, that was at least my justification for allowing the kids to watch it. But of course my guilty pleasure as a dad is like letting the kids enjoy all the movies I love.
What is exciting with kids these days is that because of iPhones is that they can make their own films now.
Exactly.
This is fantastic.
Exactly. Yeah, we have a whole plan.
So it's opened up a whole creativity stream.
Absolutely.
That was not possible for us. My generation, that was just make a film.
Yeah.
But now the technology is so brilliant that you can actually shoot, edit,
that's it
for nothing.
And
really come out with good product.
Good
it's
quality,
decent.
So.
It's actually one of my plans for this summer is to film a movie with the kids.
Yes.
On iPhone.
Brilliant.
And we're going to score it too.
Brilliant.
And then our goal is also to make a theme song that we want to then upload to Spotify. That has all of their contributions on it.
Right.
And that they will assist in filming, they will assist in editing and the plot development, and they will star in and all this stuff. And it might be totally cringeworthy, but it's going to be a memory and it's going to be a learning experience.
Yeah.
And so that's my goal for the summer.
I have a huge problem at home right now, which is the fact that if it's not romantic, I have a huge problem at home.
Yeah.
Which is if it's not romantic, the girls don't want to watch. Oh no. I'm the only guy there. Come on, man. Let's watch The Fly from 1980. That was shot in Toronto. Let's watch something like that. Like, oh no, that's too scary. My dad, we spoke about this. The monster. The Blue Lagoon, like
the Blue Lagoon. Oh, yeah.
So I watched that when I was a kid. I didn't sleep for 10 days, and now not long ago I watched that again, and I'm like, ludicrous. It's just a guy with a suit.
It's ludicrous.
But basically, this is so funny because back home, like there was 80 something.
Yeah.
They on the TV was like, you need to go to the pharmacy and buy these red and blue glasses to watch this movie at 3D. So I remember like the pharmacists, they're freaking like line up to buy the glasses, right? And we watch. I was like, my dad and my mom, they didn't buy that, but me and my sister were watching through the. I didn't sleep, man. But now they movie. See, I want to show that to my kid.
Yeah,
I actually showed the piece of like a trailer of that movie to my kid, and just like. Daddy, can't you see that it's a guy on a suit?
There's nothing worse than watching a film that you love and everybody else is completely bored. It's
I
like,
know.
Especially when you're like so excited to watch it with them, right? It's almost like you better just watch it again on your own and just not involve them.
Yeah, but the movies, they used to have so much character in the 70s and 80s. The 90s a little bit, but I kind of lost that 70s and 80s vibe.
I think practical effects too, right? Where everything had to be real that was being filmed for the most part. Even Star Wars, they had models of the ships that they were filming in front of a backdrop of, as cut out of space. And the big technology was the movement of the cameras and things like that. Mm-hmm. But it was actual objects that they were filming. And then they got into a little bit of that thing with CGI for a while where you were taken out of the moment, I thought. Now it's back to sort of not being able to really tell what's real or not, which is more immersive and I think we're in some kind of a golden age, honestly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We just have, it's like any.
And by the way, somebody asked me the same question, what's your favorite film?
Yeah.
So I said, well, I can't. Well, give us a list, or I can't remember. I think it was for an interview. Okay. I had to stop at 60. I had to stop at 60. I started writing out my favorite films, and I kind of went, oh yeah. So I stopped at 60. So I don't really have a favorite film.
Right,
I love them all. They're all great.
Yeah,
you know?
the movie that you said, Hitchcock. When I was younger, that movie didn't do anything for me.
Right.
But that thing is genius. It's such a genius. Hitchcock was the best.
Those movies were interesting, like Vertigo and what was the other one? North by Northeast?
North by Northwest.
Northwest. Sorry. Yeah. North by Northwest.
Psycho
was amazing. And I watched both the remake too. So good.
Yeah.
Those movies.
Do you know what I just saw? For the first time, you're gonna laugh.
What?
Like this? I can't believe this movie evaded me.
What's it?
Silence of the Lambs.
Oh,
I just saw it last month.
Excellent.
Yeah,
very good. It's very good.
Unbelievably good.
See, that's what I mean. That's on my list.
Yeah,
that's on my list.
What a movie.
Talking about the Psycho, I don't know if you guys watch Monster on Netflix. So Monster is based, that's why they created the Psycho from the guy who actually killed the people.
No, it's based on a true story.
It's based on a true story.
Really?
So they have these thing about this guy, I can't remember his name now, and it's a show. It's I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's 6 episodes or something like that.
Okay.
And it's about this guy who killed everybody, and that's why the Psycho came after.
Really? Yeah, inspired by a true story.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. That's really interesting.
It's messed up.
You know, messed up. You know what's funny is, like, I feel like I'm a very, for the most part, I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky person, and I love, in real life, making sure, we're all in a happy place and everything. That's my, I hope to think that's my default anyways. But, with those, I really enjoy thriller movies, like really like psychotic movies. I love all that stuff. I don't know why.
That stuff. Because I would just want to go like, why am I doing this to myself? Like, why? I got enough stress in my life.
Oh my God.
Kind of like, I don't know.
I stopped. I know.
I guess I shouldn't be numb to it.
You want to see it, right? You want to see. I just stopped. I said, what? I got enough problems in my life already.
Not to add one more to the list.
This morning I was watching Titanic with my kid.
Oh my gosh. I haven't seen that.
My wife came from the kitchen. She's like, this is not appropriate for her. And I'm like, what's not appropriate? It's sinking. And it just...
Everybody knows what happens.
I go, what's not appropriate? I'm just like, it's not romantic. I go, there's a part that it's romantic.
That's the real reason. That's the real reason.
It's not romantic. What do you want me to... I'm gonna raise a kid in romantic movies?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, it's so funny. We always have that thing of like when I'm away for the weekend or something, the girls will watch a girly movie. Like they just went and saw The Devil Wears Prada 2
Oh,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
a theater.
yeah.
Okay.
All of them while I was away for the weekend, because I never even saw the first one. And I'm sure it's good, and those are fun actors and everything. But I is never really into that stuff so much. There are the occasional girly movies that are fun to watch.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, I don't want to sound insulting when I say girly movies, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Clueless or
well, of course,
Mean
there are guy
Girls, or
movies and there's girl movies.
chick
Chick flicks, yeah.
But so and then of course it's like there's ones where Emma's like, you know what? You go ahead, you watch Mortal Kombat with the girls. I will take a bath. It's all good. And we have a great time. And it's all good. And they get a well-rounded, education. But
I figure
it's
out
fun.
the best way to go through a romantic movie for me. It's whiskey. Whiskey does the magic.
Wow, this is amazing.
So are you gonna, you know what? In my defense, my wife made me watch that. You guys remember that show Grey's Anatomy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
of
there was the
course.
last episode, and I'm trying to be strong. And I'm sitting on the sofa with my whiskey, trying to be strong. There's a tear coming. It's just like, are you crying?
Yeah,
like, me crying? No, allergy.
You're crying.
Allergies. Damn it.
Yeah.
No, that's fun. No, but okay, you
good.
need to watch the romantic.
Honestly, it's funny because I don't actually cry that much in real life in general. And and to be honest, I think crying is a superpower, and I wish I had it. I'm much more even keel. Like even sad things, I'm like, it makes me sad, but I'm like, it's hard for me to actually have a cry. But movies allow me to shed a little tear sometimes.
It's a fantasy.
Not that I love,
it
depressing
draws you in a
movies.
different world.
Yeah.
For example, that movie Big Fish from Tim Burton.
I think yeah.
I think
Tim Burton?
so, I'm not 100% sure, but
Might
that's
have
the
been.
only
Ewan
movie.
McGregor was in that, right?
Yeah. That's the only movie that actually messes me up.
Can I tell you?
Yeah.
Edward Scissorhands for me.
Really?
I did
really?
cry like a baby when I first saw it. I was 11 years
I don't remember
old.
the
but
ending of that film. I remember seeing it, but I don't remember.
so
too
he
much
never
about it.
ages because he's
yeah,
a toy,
right? Of course.
And she gets old. They fall in love, but
Right,
she gets
she
old.
gets older.
And he's still up
Yes.
in his castle, clipping the hedges to her image of a young lady, and she's telling her grandkids about this love of her life.
Right. I do remember.
And I
that
was like,
line.
and I couldn't like torrential.
really?
We're talking
wow.
at that age, but I did
that's
watch it
nice.
again
But
a
that's
few years
nice.
later.
Yeah, and it didn't.
It didn't do it
Didn't
for
do
me
anything.
again. Like I didn't cry the second time, I think, because I knew it was coming.
right.
But yeah, Tim Burton also.
Oh yeah, Tim Burton is good. It's really good.
Oh my goodness. Well, Vezi, all that to say,
That was quite
Thanks for
the
showing
rollicking
up.
discussion.
thank you for indulging
no
us.
problem.
and-
We
My
could be
pleasure.
here all night.
You guys
know.
are inspirational, the rock dads. I mean, I think
Aw.
that's great.
Thank you.
I
Well,
really
you're
enjoy-
inspirational.
You are.
No, I
You are
really
for all of
enjoy
us.
your.
Yeah.
I watched at least 2 or 3, and I said, "Oh, these
Yeah.
guys are pretty funny."
Oh,
eh?
thank you. Well, without you, we couldn't be here.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
we respect you.
we're in a great business. I mean, we're
Yeah.
going through tough times right
Yeah.
now in terms of
music.
but we're lucky to be where we are.
We are.
Yeah.
I say that to myself all the time.
Yeah.
To walk into here, I remind myself I'm doing what I love,
Right.
Of course.
and I'm getting
Yeah.
a little bit of money for it. But enough that
Every
I
musician can relate. Yeah.
enough that I can make a living. you
Yeah.
know?
Amazing.
Absolutely.
How great is that? Brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
So we're lucky. We're very lucky.
Perfect.
Thank you, Vezi.
Thank you so much
All right,
for
no
being on the show.
Rock dads.